Hey guys, welcome to tonight's amazing conversation. It's our monthly chat with Dr. Cosmas, Maduka, and super excited about this particular episode because we are turning this to a book, if you're happy to know that. And we're turning to a book called Scaling Your Business with Integrity. Okay, so we've been doing this monthly session with Dr. Cosmos, and I'm super excited about tonight. Really excited. And so, what excites me the most, like I told you, is that we're going to be turning this to a book. And so today may be the first episode, but a lot of the conversations myself and Dr. Cosmos have had, we also transcribe it. We also look for some other content he has out there that we transcribe, and we turn all of it to this new book that we want to work on. And so today, the conversation is on scaling business with integrity. It's of course to me that is integrity. So we're going to be having a great conversation today, and we're going to be able to also break down how integrity works. Because sometimes people just think integrity just means it's all about keeping to your word, which is very critical part of it. But sometimes things go outside your control, and integrity in those situations is communicating, making sure you pass across the challenges you're facing. Your stakeholders are updated, are carried along about what is going on and the challenges. Like we discussed with that lady that asked us question the last month. Some people will not understand, they will not agree, but you still keep communicating and work out something about how you can resolve it. Business is always challenging; it's never easy. No, one of my mentors said that you can never find a general without a scar, and the scar of a general. Okay, I mean you can. Every general has a star.
Sure that I'm here.
Yes, we can see you. I wanted you to settle down.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, guys, welcome. Please invite your friends, invite people, let them know we're here. Chat as many people up and let them know we are here for this month's episode. So, share this link, invite your friends, invite everyone you know, tell them we're here, let them come. We're gonna have a wonderful conversation. So you never see a general without a scar, right? And the scar of every general is called sacrifice, right? So and when you say general, they have stars. They have great stars, which is accolade, success. But you see, those stars comes with scars, and those scars are a product of sacrifice. So we're happy to have a general in business with us tonight. In person of Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Can we all celebrate him? Come on, everybody. Celebrate Dr. Cosmos. Put it up. Celebrate him. Clap for him as we get started. How were you today, sir? How was your trip?
Great, Stephen. It's been tough, and but we pray to be busy, so we can't complain being busy. So I'm excited to be here. I knew we had wanted to do this while I was in Zimbabwe, but I had to focus on what I'm there. On a youth program. Came back on Friday. Went to Cross River State for another weekend meeting, and I was back yesterday. So it's good to be here this evening to be with you and my our audience to discuss on the subject of building for scale. So I'm excited to be here because that's what it is all about, Stephen.
Awesome. Awesome. So we have a little twist to the topic. So scaling your business is the topic, and then we're twisting it a bit to also focus on using the tool of integrity. We talked about a new book, you and I, so we want to make sure that this conversation can be transcribed and form part of the book that we're working on. Since your busy itinerary will just be turning some of these sessions, transcribe it, edit it, and then turn it to the book that we want to work on. So I'll have you share a few things you want to share with us. By the way, guys, tell us your name, the city you're joining us from, and share this video. Get more people to join us. I would love to have your open remark on scaling your business, and particularly how integrity also can be a tool to scaling businesses. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Stephen, thank you so very much. And again, I'm excited to be here to discuss on a subject that is dear to my heart, scaling your business or building for scale. They both say the same thing, depending on how you look at it. It's about taking something from a small level to take it to big level where people can see it and appreciate it. And
We can't hear you. I think maybe somebody tried to call you. Hello, sir. Can we all hear Dr. Cosmos? If you can hear Dr. Cosmos type, I can hear him. I think somebody tried to call you, so it affects the audio. Usually when somebody tries to call, the audio will just go off. But okay, but can you guys hear me? If you can hear me type, I can hear you. Let's be sure you can hear me. I'm sure he will probably come back later. If you can hear me, type I can hear you. Let's know whether you can hear me. Okay, can you hear me? I'm aware we can't hear Dr. Cosmos, but can you hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me?
yeah, sorry, somebody was calling on my line. I wasn't using my laptop and that, so I have to discharge the person. So I said, first, I want to thank every one of you for the opportunity to listen to me this evening. And for those of you who are in business, I believe it's been exciting trying to discover yourself. And I will encourage anybody who is out there waiting till he can see the crystal ball to take a step of faith. Business is about daring, getting into the unknown. What is important is to paint a beautiful picture in your mind with a clear goal and sense of purpose while you were born, that there's something in you that we call a responsible urge, calling that I was born for something. I do not just exist. I was not just born to eat food and die. There's reason for me to be exist. If that deep is in you calling after a deep, then there's a deep somewhere to respond to it. And that is why you need to respond to that deep by painting a beautiful picture. That's what a vision is all about. You can't scale up or build for scale without a vision. Let me again describe to you what I believe a vision looks like. A vision is not a function of your sight, but it's a function of your spirit, where you can see where your eyes stop looking. There are many eyes that can look, but there are very few eyes that can see. You are seeing something that no other person can see. Even both of you have sight. Vision is not a function of sight, but a function of spirit. It's not about what your eyes can see, but what you can perceive in your spirit. So you set the goal where you are going, like a journey of a voyage. All the route that will take you there, you may not be able to know. But that's where the determination comes. When that passion, you saw that beautiful picture and you begin to walk towards it. Millions of people can tell you you are having a daydream. Stephen, I look at you today. I remember while we were in Houston, you shared the house where you used to live with. I almost don't want to believe it, but that shows you again the power of vision. How could you move from that mud house to the present place where I visited you in Houston? It's like night to darkness. When people experience things in their life, they can talk with conviction that the word impossible only exists in the mind of people, but in a physical realm, it does not exist, especially for kingdom people who follow the principle of the word of God. If you recall, those of us who are Christians, if you go back to Genesis chapter 18, when the angels told Sarah that by this time next year, she's going to have a baby. For Sarah, it was a laughing matter. So she laughed, really. What can't we hear? A 90-year-old woman is going to give birth to a baby. You can say that all over again. I hope you are not mocking me. You know, we can put words into it, different things that pass in his thoughts. And the angel looked back and said to Abraham, why did your wife Sarah laugh? You know, is anything too hard for God to do? So, in other words, the God we worship is God of impossibility. The thing people call impossible, like I said, if you put I am, if you put comma and I am, the word impossible become I am possible. So you can't take away from the word of God that says all things are possible to them that believe. But how is it possible? It's come from conception. It's about state of mind. Your mind must conceptualize it. And when it does, that's how you become pregnant with your vision. Yes, we have Miss Audience, you know, people who are married can, you know, have relationship as long as they want to. Nothing ever happened until conception take in. And that's when you truly believe your vision. Nobody can talk you out of it. Nothing can ever shake you out of it. It's a prerequisite for building for scale. I started telling people I will be a millionaire when I do not have $1,000. Frankly speaking, I can't even remember if I have $500 when I start talking about being a million. So, and that's why I keep on telling people, if people don't laugh at you, then your vision is not from God. If everybody tell you, look, I believe this thing with you, what you are saying makes sense, then God has not spoken to you. The first sign that God has spoken to you is that people will tell you, nah, what did you eat last night? What's happening in your head? You are daydreaming. This thing you are talking cannot be done. So, and we have evidences from people in the scripture, whether it is Joseph, different people will always say them, forget it. It's not what happened. So, as a Nigerian entrepreneur doing business in Nigeria, I am passionate about the opportunities around this country, from agriculture, banking, automobile, technology, real estate, and different things one can do to be successful. But like I said again, it depends on what you are looking at and what you can conceive. I am delighted to speak on this topic, scaling up, which I also call building for scale. So let me first define scale. If you don't know exactly what you mean or what we are looking for, how will you know when we found it? So the first thing is to really, don't worry, we're in Nigeria, so they took light, but they didn't take my voice. You are hearing my voice, correct? Yeah. So we'll soon put the genset on. So if you don't know exactly what you are looking for, you won't know when you find it. Oxford Dictionary describes scale as to climb to the top or something that is high and difficult to climb. I would like to start by making us understand the basis of what we mean by building for scale or scaling up. To grow our business at a high level that is difficult to attain. It is a subject that is very dear to my heart because as a young man, I was very ambitious, coming from a background where nobody gave me a chance to survive. The same thing I've repeated. But I was hungry, truly hungry, because of the death of my father at the age of 4. My mother was a single parent with 4 kids, and it's not long before the Nigeria Civil War broke out. We did not have enough food to eat. My sibling and I fought over food, not meat. So to build for scale, one must develop hunger mentality, a desire to climb to the top against all odds. Hunger mentality is not something somebody school you for. You don't go to school to learn how to be hungry. It has to come instinctively. You need to desire it. With a vision to build an institution that will be timeless in its relevancy. Kosjari's mission is to develop, is to deliver excellent products and services to its customer, giving them the highest value for their money. That's the mission, actually. But the vision is to build an institution that will be timeless in its relevancy and value. I was very clear that I will be singled out. I'm not waiting for anybody to single me out among my peers. And I'm going to build an organization that will outlive me. Because that clear goals are things, are the building material. They are the basis that helps you take action. So they are the basis that bring the discipline upon you that is required if you are sincere about following your vision and running after it. So to build attention to corporate governance. It's not about what I like. It's not about who massage my ego. It's not about how many people that stay around me and help me whether I'm doing rubbish. So part of the things I wanted to do is, as I make the capital to hire people, I wanted to bring people who perhaps relatively knew as much as I knew, or even better than me. People who are going to ask me questions, look me straight into my eyes, subject me to really have a second thought over the things I believe. And that means I was ready to submit to superior reasoning. You can't build for scale with ego. If your ego is the thing that is most important for you, then you just go to hire people around you who will just bow down to you. Hey, Bishop, whatever you say, they say, yes, that's the way the word of the king is. You can't find reasoning. You can't find people expressing their opinion. You can't find people opening up to say the best that they know that can make the difference. But when you are willing to submit to superior reasoning, and that is to say, you understand that corporate governance is a catalyst that can take you to any level in where you are going. It's a prerequisite. Then you begin to condition yourself to say, I'm not just going to make law. I'm going to abide by the rule because successful people play by the same rule. No new rule that will be rewritten for you. You just have to follow the ones that is already in existence. So these are few ingredients that are prerequisite to build for scale, climbing to that high, to grow a business at that high level that is difficult to attain. It's a subject that is very dear to my heart because I'm not speaking from intellectual conception. There are things I have really practicalized with a vision to build an institution that will be timeless and its relevance. Koshari's mission statement was to deliver excellent products and services, giving their customer the highest value for their money. Watch those words because they are very critical. As part of the company corporate governance, as part of the company corporate social responsibility, it will plow back resources into the immediate and large society while ensuring that its employees have a sense of pride and fulfillment. As I had shared in my books and in various forms of my teaching, as an ambitious young man growing up, I dreamed to building an institution capable of the where I drew my inspiration. There's a Greek company in Nigeria called Leventis Group. Leventis Group was one of our early multinational. They were responsible for Mazda car in Nigeria. They brought Honda into Nigeria. They started from Honda motorbike to Honda automobile when the first model was Civic. Leventis was responsible for Sanyo Group, Sanyo Japanese electronic group that are very famous in air conditioner and many things. They have different stores. They have not only they have stores, they have malls. They have what do you call it? They are into hospitality industry because they have hotels and different things. They were one of the biggest multinational group in the early 70s in Nigeria. I went to purchase spare parts from Leventis the first time I saw computer, and I saw how things were done. And I said, one day I'm going to build a company like this company. That's why I tell people, it's not just the school you went to. It's not the four-corner wall where they taught you something. It's how you think every day of your life. The things you meet on the road could be an inspiration for you. Today, I can tell you, honestly speaking, that I feel no inferior. I think, honestly speaking, that I've taken business way back from where Leventis left it. Leventis was responsible for Mercedes in Nigeria. They ran a business that everybody will dare to have. But where is Leventis today? But we took it. When you see the building we had at Adiola Odeko, it was an inspiration that struck me passing Idomoto Park, going to enter night bus to go to Newi to purchase a merchandise for my boss. I passed that AG Leventis. I looked at that building. I pointed my hand like this. I said, one day I'm going to make a building like this. The man by my side cocked my head because he could not understand a boy going to enter night bus, the thing they call awara awara. The bus that you stay is a bench, you sat on it. There's no, your leg is not on the ground. But I'm already dreaming to have that. But to let you see again the power of vision.
Yeah.
The first building in Lagos was 68 Adiola Odeko. If you go to see that 68 Adiola Odeko, that is Adiola Odeko and the Aki Adenshola in a junction road, If you knew the AG Leventis building, you see clear similarity on it. A vision is something that can take time. But if somebody who truly have a vision live long, exactly the things he believes, he will achieve it. It comes from consistency. It's not a lucky break. It's not a chance. It's not about miraculous way of doing something, because a stone did not crack by the hard hammer. The stones start breaking by constant pressure of a knock of a hammer over a period of time. It doesn't break at the final point by the last hammer. The last hammer break it based on the pressure, the consistency over a period of time that has put in place. And that's what we call staying power in business. That you got to be consistent. It doesn't matter how hard the road look like. You are not willing to throw in towel, because a champion does not win in every round. It may have opportunity and get a knockout, but many times he's been down 4 or 5 times before he gets the game. So the only way you lose that game is when you quit in the midst of it. So as I had shared in various forms and in my book, as an ambitious young man growing up, I dreamt of building an institution capable of Leventis or USC. The level of growth God has enabled us to attain today in Coscharis can be traced to that early life dream. And not surprising, the vision of Coscharis as an organization was to build an institution that would be timeless in its relevancy. An interesting thing about this dream is that at first it will appear unattainable, like a castle in the sky. But experience, as I've shared, has shown that with dogged determination, unwavering commitment, and divine providence, every lofty dream can be achieved, even in the face of daunting challenges. What is important is to learn the patience to go through the process to become rich, and embrace the culture of hard work and engagement in legitimate business, and dream and that, you know, a legitimate business that you dreamt with determination to achieve success. Understanding that enduring business is not a product of chance or unplanned leadership. They are characterized by a clear vision and a growth strategies, actualizing through prepared and structured organization and effective leadership. Sir Winston Churchill said, "It is not enough that we do our best sometimes, but we have to do what is required." So it's not a game of chance. It's not, let me just try and give it my best. Like I said often, successful people played by the same rule. The goal is to deliver value, to believe that anybody that come in contact with you will like to work with you again. You give him value that keep yourself in his memory, that he cannot easily forget you. But if you are just there to collect from people and just take in from the people, there's no reason why they will remember you. So I think, Stephen, these are my basic frame, opening remark. Then we can now start, taking questions to go into it. It's already 21:31.
Awesome. Please can we celebrate Dr. Cosmas Maduka, everyone? Put your hands together for him one more time. Remember, if you have questions, you will see the icon with a question mark. Click on it, post your questions there. and you will get an answer. Please don't post your question in the chat box because other people's comments will cover it. So you will see the question mark icon. That's where you should type your question. Also, if you want us to pull you up so that you ask your question directly, we'll pull you up. Here are the rules. Have a good light. Be in front of a good light so that your face will show well. Once we pull you up, go ahead and ask your question. Once you're done, exit so that we can pull up other people. If you don't exit, you block us from allowing other people join. Right? So these are the rules for tonight. Let me also say welcome everybody once again, wherever in the world you're joining. Please share this video. We want you to get more people to join and involve more people. We've been having a few challenges. I think Dr. Cosmos' page was pulled down twice, but what we've done is to verify the page now. So it has a blue tick. So we hope that won't happen again. Because once the page is not verified, sometimes they feel like, okay, maybe it's not the owner that is running it. So we hope that won't happen again. But get people to know Dr. Cosmos' page is back. We're live and we're here and we're having this conversation. My own first question will be that, I mean, what are like 2 or 3 things you can remember that you did from moving Charlie's group from doing $1 million, $2 million, $5 million to $100 million, $200 million? What was because oftentimes you want to scale, it's like you're climbing off the hill, right? There's a need to, like the law says, an object remain at a state of rest until a force is applied. So what are the 2, 3 forces you think push the business from just, we're doing 2 million, we're doing $5 million to 100 million, 200 million?
Okay, let me put it this way, Stephen. It's about making a quantum loop in life. The first one was to structure my organization. Remember, I didn't set up a business like quite a number of people did who are at a certain level. There are people today running a business. You call investors because you have a degree, you have worked in a bank, you have worked in oil company, you are left a consulting company, you have experience. You call group of friends and they put capital together and you start with $10 million or 20. I started from ground zero. The first thing that gave me the first quantum group in my life was the vision I have to run my company that makes me think different from other people. Not in the professional manner that I am today, but that vision drew me to have some basic things that is a prerequisite to lift a business from ground zero. And that is to say, I held myself accountable. Starting from ground zero with no capital. I don't even own a computer, but I bought 5 exercise books to keep records of what I'm doing. Anything you cannot measure, you cannot improve. Anything you do not understand, you cannot scale. So I was able to begin to put myself in such a discipline that I knew when I made 1,000 naira, I knew how much I made every month, every week, to be able to put myself in salary. I worked hard and earned some certain amount of money, and I started hiring people who comes in to help me further structure the business the way it could be. But one major thing at a certain level we get to was when we decided to hire professionals. Of course, we already started making money. But the people that helped me make that money are no professionals. People who just believe in my doggedness and follow my instructions and will work hard. That is where many typical traders stop. At the point they bought a land, they built house in Ajegule, bought a car, they just feel they arrived. People were telling me I have arrived at that position. I did not understand what they are saying. Because if you really want to scale up and you are going for something big, there's no cry mass. You just simply set a goal, you break that goal and you set another goal. It's a success is actually a journey. You never reach the destination. You never come to a point that you said, I have arrived. Because once you begin to say you hit cry mass, that means there's no room for improvement. We don't use the word cry mass in Coscharis. We use the word, constant innovation. There's always room for improvement. We can always do better. And that's how God wants us to live. Now, in terms of different things that make me build scale, remember, my boss taught me selling motorcycles, spare parts. That's what I was settled in. But I made capital. I veered into automobile internal combustion engine, which is more wider than motorbike. So it gave me bigger access to attend to more customers, to be able to have more business. I did that very well, built the resources that they require. The second thing that gave us a quantum route in scaling up is when we get franchise of BMW.
What year was this? What year was this?
1998.
Okay.
We've been with BMW for the past 25 years. And we started and we sold only 70 units of car for the first 1 year. But we know we are going place. The second year, we did 200 cars. By the third year, we did 340 something car. On the fourth year, we moved it from 300 when we saw an opportunity to sponsor All Africa Game, and we deliver 1,000 units of BMW in the market in 1 year. And from that year, we became a market leader. Mercedes have been here over 5 decades. We took over Mercedes and led in the luxurious segment. So
hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear
so
you.
It was frozen a bit. We heard from when you said you then took a decision to move it from 300. That was the last thing we heard.
Okay, so I said, when we had opportunity to sponsor Koja All Africa Game, we took the business from 350 units to over 1,000 units in 1 year. That's a quantum route. And from that time, we became a benchmark. We became a market leader. We overtook Mercedes that has been here over the 5 decades. And we led in luxurious segment in 5 consecutive years, year in, year out. So that was not, that's what I'm saying, that a lot of people actually from that point begin to think that Coscharis is a company, that their business is built selling automobile. But our really business is pharmaceutical of automobile. We keep cars on the road. So if you drive car, regardless of the model, the brand they make, you are our customer. There are things we sell that is in your automobile. But the automobile gives us visibility that people know us. And like everything in life, one success begat another. From doing BMW well, Ford signed us on. We did Ford well, Jaguar Land Rover signed us on. We did it well, Rolls-Royce signed us on. We did it well, so no new brand entering. And that's why I say consistency is the key to growing your business to a greater scale. It's not about running around, jumping into any new ideas that come up and trying to make a kill. Many average business, not only in this country, around the world, die within the first 10 years of its existence. So the staying power, if you are in a business consistent for like we are now, we are in our 5 decades of being in business on a consistent level. Any serious organization will know that whatever you did and you did well in 50 years, you must know what you are doing. And the benefit of that is given to you. I can go bid for business today with somebody who is 10 times richer than me. I will make this point, and if the other person on the other end listening to me, he will take me serious because he know I didn't build this muscle for nothing than somebody from nowhere that he see coming up, because it's still a time bomb. There's no track record on consistentness of what it could be. So this is how we did that. And then from then, like every other thing in business, I have a philosophy of closing one hand and leaving one open. Everything I've already known, I'm holding. I'm not taking chance on it. When I was growing up, I walk with 2 hands open, because he that is on the ground fears no fall. You can't fall beyond where you are. But you get to a point where there's something already in your hand, then one hand is open. With the other second hand, you are taking a chance, and with the one that closed, you are holding what you have. Anything new comes here, it doesn't go out, but this is taken for opportunity. So that's the model that we have run today. We move into technology and set up Coscharis technology. We move into car leasing and rental. We move into Ghana. Today we are into agriculture, getting into the sector of the economy. So you can't do all of them the same day. We are planning now to have a board restrict of all the group of Coscharis. And that is to say, we can't just live and let the country throw anything at us. We need to chart our course and our future, where we are going to talk to ourselves, where do we want to be in the next 5, 10 years. I don't like to get up and panic with things. And each time I like to have 10, 20 years plan on paper, waiting for the money to be available to execute them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Please, one more time, can we celebrate Dr. Cosmos for this really wise, sharing that he's giving us? If again, I will just have us take note of some points that he's mentioned, even while he was speaking earlier. There was something very powerful I had to write down that he mentioned. He said, you can't build for scale with ego. Submit to superior reasoning,
Okay.
right? Hire a team that is not going to worship you, but can bring up superior arguments, and you are willing to allow superior arguments to win in your organization. Number 2 thing that I want to emphasize that I said that some of you might not have noticed, but you need to notice, is the fact that he had to change the team and hire professionals in his organization, because of course he was a trader, so at some point he had people who were not as educated. I remember a similar experience with my pastor. He had to retire pastors that were not graduates. Of course, he went viral, he became controversial, people insulted him, and all of that. But he wanted the church and the ministry to have a certain level of standard. And so the minimum requirement was that you had to be a graduate. So Dr. Cosmos knew, some of those he started with, some of them probably didn't go to school like him and all that, but he needed some professionals to standardize the business. Number 3, because we need to know these things for scaling, he took BMW 1998 as a franchise in Nigeria, and then he started gradual. The first year was less than 100, the second year about 100 plus or 200, third year 300. But there was a All African game that came, and then in fact, if I don't know whether you wish to share some of the, because I remember the unique concept you used then, where I think you offered to give the cars, maybe without payment or something. I don't know that you want to share that. And that became a major secret. If you want to touch on that, sir.
Yeah, it's important that you can't go to competition and offer the same thing everybody is offering and believe to take the business, because it's like a journey where you take one step, somebody is already ahead of you. And that is where innovation comes in place. Actually, myself and my group managing director was in Abuja, and on our way back to Lagos, we passed the current national stadium in Abuja. There was a billboard that said 200 and something days to All African game. I said to say, wait a minute, these people are going to need car to do this game. He said, so sir, what does that mean? We don't have the kind of brand of car that they used to do this game. I said, is there any particular brand that they say they will do the game with? He said, yeah, something like Peugeot and all of that. I said, can we go back to find out what they are looking for? And we went to Koja office, and we met Dr. Amos Sadamu and said, what car are you guys looking for this game? He said, well, we're looking for any company that will sponsor the game to provide us a car and become official car for the game. I said, we will do it. He said, you will do it. I said, yes, we'll do it. And Peugeot was there, Nigerian made car. They believe by right or entitlement, they will get it. Honda was competing and other brands were competing. Everybody thought this is going to be competition of price. I knew if I take price to go for competition, I will not get. So you need to.
Because BMW is more expensive.
An offer you cannot refuse. I make it hard for my competitors. In fact, even my staff were a little confused that I said, I will provide you the car to do this game and you don't need to pay money.
Wow.
Tell
the entire 1,000 cars for free.
No.
The entire 1,000 cars for free.
Listen, so you can get it. I've worked the numbers in my head and I understood the right of hosting All Africa game or Olympic is that everything to do that game that are going to come under duty exemption for the game. So I said, well, I'm ready to provide this car. You give me duty exemption, I bring the car for a BMW 320. The price will be 2.9 million without duty. Toyota Corolla was selling 3.7 million. I said, the plan is that you will make profit from this car. So you will buy this car off me and start selling it when the games are going. After the games are gone, the cars will be gone. You give me my money. All you need to do to me is to provide me bank guarantee. And the car will be yours. You bring it under duty exemption. I get BMW to further discount it. There's nobody that can match it. A 7 Series was 6.9 million. And X5 was less than 10 million naira. And they told me, you mean what you are saying? I say, I mean it. So let's go and see Atiku. We went, I make the same presentation. My MD was looking at me. Has a knot gone on his head? What is it? What is he talking about? But here is an opportunity, a lifetime opportunity. And I had actually assured BMW, give me 5 years to assess me. Don't assess me in the first 1 year. I was in the 4th year.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there was a confusion. Pijot came making Obasanjo call every one of us in a meeting and said, Pijot, you want to give us car, you have calculated it is going to cost 4.8 billion. We don't have 4.8 billion to give you. Will you provide us a vehicle? Because Charis has made this offer that if we give it, we will give you the same terms. Pijot said they don't understand what Charis is talking about. But Nigeria is made car. The government has to pay. Obasanjo said, but we don't have money to pay. They started making arguments. He said, the game is finished. Costa is going to give us car. I went to Guarantee Trust to open letter of credit. God bless the memory of Tayo, the late Tayo.
Yeah.
Tayo said,
Yes.
how are you going to recover this money? I said, Tayo, you are not dealing with Nigerian government. You are dealing with Costaris. Forgetting about Nigerian government. The LC is opening in the name of Costaris. It's totally my obligation. How I manage my risk is none of your business. All you need to know is that I will deliver my payment to you. And
wow.
We opened LC about $32 million or thereabout. The car landed in the port, no guarantee yet. And I insisted the car will not come out without the guarantee. 10 days to the game. Obasanjo called on Ngozi Iweala Okonjo to issue a guarantee. In my presence, Ngozi picked up the telephone, say, hello, Mr. President, I am sorry. We cannot issue this guarantee. I'm sorry. We are not car dealers. We have to find a way to do this because and all the guarantee this government issued has all been called for. I felt like I'm on the trans because the car is already in the port. What do we do? Then they form a committee that is made up of El-Rufai, Frank Nwike,
Junior.
one inspector of police, Ngozi herself, and what do? They finally agreed to get me insurance guarantee, and they will put minimum an inspector in the vehicle to make sure my car will be intact by the time the game finish. So, but they will not issue guarantee. They are not going to take the car. I should go and sell my car. I started advertising the car while the game was on.
Wow.
I made the first breakthrough when I made a presentation to Odele, the River State governor. He took 200 units of the 3 series, 2.8 million, 2.9 million naira. Toyota Corolla was 3.7 million. People started paying money. By the middle of the game, I sold over 1,000 BMW. The game was not finished. The cars were finished. You know, Nigerians, when things start rushing, I told people the car has finished. Everybody now go to bank and be putting money, you know, so that they can use government connection to bring in car. Governors start calling me, deliver car to them. So we had about 3 times the value of the Guarantee Trust and Senate could not believe the amount of money coming into their account. For 1 year, some people refuse to come and take their money. I must give them car. So when it becomes difficult that even the president started calling me, oh, that this person, I said, Mr. President, can you give us additional duty waiver so we can get more car to meet all the demand of the money people paid? He said, sorry, the game is finished. We have done the deal and we are not doing anything more. So 2 years, people provided me free fund to trade with no interest because they refuse to take their money. You are begging somebody to take your money. So it's the day he's willing to. Some people came to collect their money in the 3rd year. So I sold car without profit, but I made money from the money people put onto me. This is one of the quantum loop that we made in Costaris that revolutionized us. Free funding, people funded to have enough money to trade because when the car finished, there's nothing more I could do. And we delivered the cars to the, it was first come, first serve. Those who first paid, they paid. is how we deliver the car, and we show we deliver them. And that was how the whole thing went viral. And, from that year, we put 1,000-unit BMW become in vogue. We gave 1,000 people test drive at the same time. So, and the rest was history.
Wow. Wow. Come on, guys. Can we clap for Dr. Cosmos? I mean, for the willingness to share these things and be so vulnerable about them. You hardly hear people open up to this level. So please let me celebrate him, because this is very, very powerful. And like I said, you won't even get people to open up, to you on
In
some
business,
of these things.
offer cannot refuse. When you are going into competition with somebody who has better muscle than you, if you
Yeah.
offer the same thing as you are at the same level, you got to be innovative in your thinking. Because, in fact, my people also do not understand where I was going. Profit was the least thing I thought about. What was important for me, I find opportunity to give over 1,000 Nigeria a test drive. And I may never have it easily, but I'm going to dare it. So profit will come when we establish the number. So that's where many people make mistake, because they want to make profit in every business. And therefore, they are not open-minded and seeing the big picture. The big picture. Now, we've been in this market for 25 years. 2 years ago, BMW in 2023 gave me a certificate for quality partnership for 25 years. We've been consistent for 20. They made 4 attempts. We are the 5th attempt in this country. They made and they closed each of them under 3 years. It's just like recently, Porsche came to Nigeria. They've shut down. Audi came to Nigeria. They've shut down. What other brand again? Subaru come to Nigeria. They've shut down. Because those people don't have staying power. And we took a business that had made 4 attempts with no success in 5 years and became a market leader. You should give us credit for innovation.
Wow, 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 wow. This is really, really powerful.
That's right.
And I hope you guys understand how deep this is. Again, I need to share this video, get more people to join us. This is really, really life-changing. And the good news is we're turning this to a book, right? So you are lucky today. My team are going to transcribe everything we're discussing. That's why I'm taking my time to answer my questions myself. They will transcribe it, and we're turning it to a book. And it's called Scaling Business with Integrity. Another thing that you mentioned, and I don't want people to forget this in the course of the conversation, was also the fact that, number one, you of course you had to work on your team. You took a franchise, you leverage on the games and all of this help. But more importantly also is that your core business is not even selling cars. The BMW and the Jaguar and all of that just help to grow the name, the image. The real business is that every Nigerian that drives a car is your customer.
Absolutely.
Because now you are the biggest dealer in car parts. Either you use, the engine oil or brake pad, or the engine itself, or the seats and all of that. Tell us more.
The parts
If
of
you
the
can break
combustion
this.
engine, we are behind
Yes,
it.
if you can break this down better for us about your business model of being a pharmaceutical of automobile, and how sometimes there is something you put in front and that's what everybody's seeing, but there's another thing at the back end that is even bringing way more revenue. If you want to share that with us, particularly with scaling up.
Okay, well, you got to know where your bread and butter is in your business, because still to today, because of economic situation the exchange rate volatility, automobile business have been ups and down because the value what it attracted. Actually, the first time we wanted to be $1 billion company was when we have to hire KPMG to join in our strategic meeting to tell us what we need to do.
I think somebody is calling you again. I think somebody is calling you, so we couldn't hear you again. We can't hear you.
Okay, Stephen, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. It went off. I guess somebody was calling you
Somebody
again.
was
So
calling me, yeah. So
you stopped at KPMG joining your strategic meeting.
yeah, so we actually told them where we wanted to go, and they came to tell us one of the things that we need to do. It was in that process that KPMG hired us a guy that has worked in 2 different Fortune 500 companies. Because you see, for scaling your business is about sustainability. It's about sustainability. And if you want to get to that level, you need to put the right ingredients that is required to make that business to grow and to remain strong for what it's supposed to be. You need the right manpower. People, because some of us who are business people, what we brought to table is our dogged determination and self-belief, our convictions of what we know. But somebody else will take this dream and transcript it for you and be able to put the right roadmap that will be able to take you there. But that's where many people make mistake. That their dogged determination get them small few pieces of things and they get overexcited about it. But they couldn't see the bigger picture that is in the picture. If they follow and play by the rule. Okay? So that's exactly what happened that took us to where we want to be. Our core business that nobody knew anything about is that whether you call it, all the car dealers in Nigeria are interested to sell car because selling parts is very complex. There are 32,000 different components that made automobile. Inventory management is a key. If you don't understand the inventory management, it can kill your business because the models of the car keep on showing new, and you can build inventory that can easily become obsolete, and that is a lot of cash that you need to write off. Unfortunately, you can't even change them by any means. It's just that you just throw them away because if the model are not in existence, take for instance, if you decide to bring a whisk cream or whatever thing, because there are things that are particularly unique to a particular vehicle, and maybe your car park in the whole country is only 2,000 or 200, and you have that product 5,000. Out of that 2,000 car park that exists in the country, only 10% of it or 20% will require that parts. What are you going to do with the rest of the other parts? So inventory is the key, and people who don't understand it don't need to mess with it. But this is where our skill, our strong power exists, that we can predict the future on the automobile and we manage inventory very well. So, and because we also do some in-depth study, we're able to know certain components that are not just based on the number, but the product inside the package that can fit from car A to B or C. So while our other competitors who did not have this knowledge is selling it by package, we knew that this particular model package of Volkswagen can fit in Peugeot. This one in Peugeot, I can as well explain to you now. And the internal combustion engine, which is inside the engine to work, we are using piston ring for Toyota 22R to work on Ford model engine, because it's the same exactly rings that is in it, diameter and everything. But somebody who did not know can only sell it for Ford model. And if you are asking him for the other model, he did not know. Something like Toyota 5R does not exist anymore in this country. We are still importing piston ring for Toyota 5R. But because we use it for other model that is exactly replicant of that. So sometimes people don't understand the volume. And we also, because of our depth knowledge, we also find out that the manufacturers prostitute over prices by selling at a higher price for particular model. So the part number we knew they are selling less that we know fit other model is only the part number we buy. But it could come on particular model engine, but we are selling it in other 5 different model engine. Sometimes they are amazed at our volume. So this is why knowledge is power. You know, many business people, traders, the first
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
okay, Stephen, money has 5 levels of money. Cash is the lowest level of money. But that's what people understand, that is number 1 level of money.
What's the number 1 level of money?
Credibility.
Credibility.
That's right.
Number 2?
Is not credibility is not integrity. I'll come to it. Okay. Number 1 is credibility, where you record the things you are doing that people have attest to. Now, you don't understand the power of credibility. If Dangote come to Coscharis today to buy a car and he does not have cash, do you believe we can give it to him? Stephen, I'm asking you a question.
Yes, you will want to give it to him because Dangote.
You know why we'll give it to him? We have records of what he's doing. He had a credible record. So he doesn't need to come with cash. Cash is very secondary. We will give it to him. But everybody believes that cash is everything. No. Number 1 level of money, the most important, is credibility. Number 2 is that you can have a credible, you can transfer your credible relationship. And what does that mean? If Stephen comes to Coscharis to buy a car, if for any reason we said, Stephen, you must pay cash, we are not giving you the car, and Dangote put a call across to Coscharis and said, can you allow Stephen to go with that car? Do you believe we will let you go?
Yes, you will.
Come with cash? You didn't come with cash, but you drove away with car, because somebody transfer his credible relationship to you and you scale on it. That's why many young people don't know that if a rich man gives you cash, he has cheated you.
I like that. If a rich man gives you cash, he has cheated
He has
you.
cheated you. You want to leverage in his credibility. It's not his cash that you want, because cash has limits that he can give you. The young man that I availed $300 million, did he have cash? The story you knew. He leveraged on my credible relationship.
Yes.
So are you being convinced the level of money that is the least level of money?
Very true.
Integrity is part of the level of money. Integrity is what you do in consistent level. Your word is your bond. When you make a promise, you deliver on that promise every time. You never go behind it. That consistentness, you build character. It's also cash. It's also part of the level of money. So I will teach on that in some other day. I just veered into it, and I can break it down for you and show you 5 levels of money that people mistake. Everybody, that's why when you ask me what role do cash play in business, sometimes I say 25%. It's not more than 40%. But people who are limited in knowledge tell you it's everything. Yes, cash is important because it's about resource management. Resources is limited. They are not in plenty supply. It has to be managed in a sustainable manner. It can easily be used up. That's why when people offer you their credible relationship, you should never take it for granted.
Yes.
You should manage it.
Very
you should, if people give you access into themselves, people don't even know that if somebody can take picture with you, a credible person is willing to take picture with you. If he like, he can charge you for it. You are the person that need to pay. Because you can flag it to somebody who know and said, where did you go to meet this man?
Yes.
Or what you go to see him? That in itself, if you are consistent in other things you do, opens door.
Very true.
Okay. So people are in a hurry. When you did something for a wealthy person and is in a hurry to pay you, then he does not want to give you access, because if he give you cash, it's not indebted to you. But if he do not pay you and accept the gift you have given him by giving that service, you remain in his memory.
Very true.
Memory. It's a deposit you made that you will cash sometime in life if you are not in a hurry to get return on investment. The man will be telling you, I want to pay you. Say, no, you have already paid. He said, what do you mean you have already paid? He said, just knowing you is enough money for me. Tomorrow you may have a need. You ask that person to put a call across.
Yes.
That Stanley, for the first time, I can say it open, never called me to loan him money. He was asking me if I knew anybody in First Bank.
Yeah.
He was not asking me to lend him money. If I could put a call across to him in First Bank. In the process, asking how much is he looking for, and asking him for the account number he had there. And based on the value of that, the money then, I wired $1 million to his account the same day, that he couldn't believe. So that's what credible relation, and you tell me he's not wealthy. It's not the cash you carry in your pocket that is the people. Your network is your net worth. If you
Very true.
manage it well, people
Very true.
take a risk on your behalf, and on your word, they entrust things to you. Whatever they have built, you can leverage on it to get to where you want to be. So that's why a lot of people thought I'm wealthy. No, I'm not wealthy. Frankly speaking, the truth is that people entrust me with their money because I have position, I have track record, things that is verifiable that they could see. Therefore, money, I have unlimited resources to be able to do business, and that's what you need to be able to scale up in your business. So integrity is number one. Number two is integrity. Number three is everything that you don't need to. Those people begin to advertise you, and the best advertisement is when a customer talk to another client, not billboard. Not billboard.
Powerful. Guys, can we come on celebrate one more time Dr. Cosmas Maduka? Come on, everybody, can you do that for me? Right, this is rare. This is very powerful, and you, like I said, you won't get this elsewhere. You won't get this elsewhere. So and I can't, just stop thanking you for your heart and your willingness to share. Most people are not going to share this, and like somebody has been saying, where are young people of Nigeria? This is something that should have 100,000 views by now, because of the quality and the richness of what's being discussed, which oftentimes you will never easily hear people break this down at all. My next question then will give some of you opportunity, but please make sure you have very sound questions to ask. Very, very sound questions to ask, please. Very sound questions. We'll give some of you opportunity, to ask questions. You can, again, there's the question mark box. We're also willing to allow some of you come up and ask your question direct, but I need you to send a request if you want me to pull you up to ask your question direct. And for me to pull you up, make sure you have a good light facing you, and make sure you're asking smart questions. And once you're done asking the question, exit so that we can bring other people to ask their questions. So hopefully maybe this will be my last question. But I'm intentionally asking this because we need it to be in the book. Some of you will veer off and you may not ask me what I need in the book. I want this book to be one of the most powerful book people will have access to, scaling your business. And we need it at this time where there's business challenges. It's been a tough year for business in this country. I want to ask that how did you, as a person, knowing that... Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So how did you, in this country, knowing that you were not from a rich family, you were not from a known family, today, I mean, everybody knows you, from president to everybody. How did you build that relationship with people? And you are not social as well. I mean, one of the people often ask me, of all the people you know, why did you choose to be closer to Dr. Cosmos? I said it's because our story is similar. I'm not from a known family, and I also started my business 1,000 naira. He started with 200 naira. So there are some things I will say to him. He understands. Some of my other, relationship that are rich, some of them are from noble families. So they just took the business from where their parent left. So they won't get it. They won't understand, where I'm coming from. But Dr. Cosmos gets it. We have similar background. So how did you then move from there to building relationship to a level everybody knows you, you know everybody, even when you are not social. You are not the person that is always in parties. You don't, I mean, you have lived this godly life. How did you do it?
Okay, Stephen, very important question. I'll come to it, but because we are trying to make this a book, let me give you in a clear terms in four words, these 5 levels of money. Number 1, in short form, is credibility. Number 2 is credible relationship. I've mentioned that before. Number 3 is character. Number 4 is competency.
Competency. Number 4 is competency.
That's correct.
Number 5
is the cash we are talking about. Now, you asked me, how did I do some of the things? Stephen, I've never one time go out to advertise myself for any reason, for anything. I have some young friends I mentor. They know all the presidents in this country. In Africa, they move with them. They talk with them on a day-to-day basis. But why am I different? I am like a Chinese bamboo tree. I'm sure you have heard a story about it.
Yes, I have.
You have, okay.
Yes.
Let me repeat the things I said earlier. A stone isn't just broken by the last blow of the hammer. All the previous consistent blow created the crack that lead to its final breaking. One of the things I have that had worked for me is to remain focused and be consistent in the things that I'm doing. I never try one day to go to appear in any television, but BBC had interviewed me. CNN came to Nigeria, looked for my address, came to my office in Awoyaya, interviewed me, and carried me on this Africa program for 2 weeks. Pro bono. I didn't pay kobo. While all my friends are spending money going there. If you are consistent in the things you are doing, the news will leak out without you advertising it. So, people, you can hardly see me in any social gathering because I don't have time. I use my time for things that are very valuable for me, but I am consistent there on those things. So, the Chinese bamboo tree is a Chinese tree that you plant, you never see it on the ground, but every day you go and water it, and you water it for 5 years. There's no sign whether it's dead or alive. The 5th year is shot up. Within 6 months, it's shot up. It will grow 90 feet. But how many people are willing to pour water on this tree for the first year without seeing any shot of it? That's staying power. That is the power of consistentness. The things you believe in, they will deliver in value. It may take time. So when you have things that have been proven and people can feel it, it's tangible. Like I said, if you don't like my grammar, you cannot quarrel with my result. So if you believe I'm not educated, my result will stare you in your face, and you will know that this is not result of non-educated person, because Henry Ford said that an educated man or a woman is an individual that can organize his thought into productivity.
Come on. I
So,
like that. Very true.
to that level of education, you see a guy who has distinction. You can't. That's why people are going to school pursuing doctorate degree. Doctorate degree is pursuing me. I already have 4 or 5 of them. Some people, I said, why are you giving me another doctor? Are you calling me doctor? You know, I've had why the same doctor? So why do you need to give me the 4th one or the 5th one? Why some people are paying money to be able to get it without official, you know, that knowledge. But because those results are results they expect from people who have PhDs.
Yes,
You can't worry.
so yes, so yes, so yes, so very true.
So
Wow, wow, come on, celebrate Dr. Cosmos one more time, everybody. Come on, give it up, give it up, give it up. Okay, so I can see, I mean, all of you have had plenty of questions, so we'll probably take a few and then we can allow him go and rest. He's been so busy traveling, but please, one more time, be celebrating for dedicating this time. I mean, he sent me his itinerary. Um, you know, it's something else, right? So anytime you see him come like this, please celebrate it. It's not easy for him, but he's been doing it, and our generation needs to hear this, right? Because it's because most young people are not hearing this, and that's why there's been so much challenges. Okay, so who do I take? I'm looking for a very reasonable question, a very sound question. So J4735 says, I said tire, sir. Please, how can, as an individual, combat the Chinese they seems to have taken over from tire business?
it's very easy. Chinese is taking over tire business because of the economy of Nigeria. Quite a number of people are living a life of survival. Unfortunately, when we grew up, we never had sachet water. We never had sachet chocolate. We never had this economy has become saturated economy. Everything is on sachet. But we used to drink Bonvita on a big can, Ovaltine in the same tin, you know, mirror. So it's because of how the economy is just to live one day at a time. So nobody is planning for tomorrow. And it has also affected people the same level where salary is consistent, but devaluation is going high, inflation on a day-to-day basis. So what do? You have to continue to adjust, and that has given Chinese a big way. If you know, when we grew up, Nigeria never buy anything that is not made in Germany. In fact,
Wow.
things that, yes, things from
Wow.
are looked down upon. Nigeria buy German or British product. Even spare parts on component, they don't touch it.
Wow.
Because that's number one. Spark plug was Bosch that sell in Nigeria. Filter was Bosch that sell in Nigeria. Battery is, if it's not Bosch, nobody wants to buy. All of this is German. Bearing is FAG, is all German. As economy start getting bad, the Japanese had opportunity because their price was cheaper, and people start buying things from Japan that become 15-20% cheaper than the German made. Then at a time, Japan became number one. Everybody want to buy only Japanese product. That is why today we have also taken Chinese brand. We are representing Geely, Chinese brand, and we are assembling Geely now in Nigeria. Because the cheapest automobile is 30 million. The Ford that we used to sell for 18 million is selling for over.
Are you the exclusive assembler for Geely Nigeria?
Yes, we took it. Geely used to be with Meccano, so we took it over from Meccano. We are the exclusive importer today, and we assemble Geely in Nigeria. So it's part of
Do you
Costar's
service as well? Because my company pick up some Geely and then we've been struggling to service it. Meccano has not been responding.
They are
So
not responding anymore because they're not responsible. So Geely is our responsibility now, both past and
okay.
that's part of
Our people will come and knock at Costar's there with the
us.
Geely. With
So
no
that's,
problem.
we're taking that responsibility from them. So it's part of our family now. Because if time continue, nobody wanted Chinese brand when they came, but you could see they are taking over market. The pickup industry, they are the people ruling today. Ford Explorer that we used to sell for 28 million is 100 and something million. A 7 Series BMW is 280 million. A Rolls Royce 4 billion. That's why I tell you that we are now competing with those of you who are in real estate. And so quite a number of people would today. So only super rich people can buy a car today, depending on its model. So it's not the price of the car has changed a lot, but exchange rate has put them to where they are. And that's why you need to carry balanced portfolio, because today what we are losing in car sales, we are meeting up in component sales. As many people cannot buy a new car, they have to repair their old cars, and then we are also making sales. As more used cars are coming in, we're also making sales, because if you bring used car, you need to repair it, you need to paint it, you need to, put some body filler on it. You are going to get them from us to fix that used car. So we are in the ecosystem, we are attached that we are getting our value in anything that you call automobile.
Wow. So what do you think he can do to because he's thinking should he partner with the Chinese for
The
tire?
correct thing to do today is that you need to, frankly, based on Nigeria economy, you need to get any of the Chinese brand of tire to be part of the things he's selling. You can, there's no magic you can do. People will still buy your Michelin or Dunlop or what other brand Ferrari you sell. But the unfortunate thing is that the number of people that buy them are shrinking every day. If we sell 10 Rolls Royce today, we clap for our hand. So it's not 100-unit market again, because it's only for super rich, who would even want it to be 2 billion naira, so that they know the number of the people are scaled down, that only them are the real boys on it. So that is what it is. So there are super rich who will still buy those products, and they really don't care what price it is, but their number shrink, so it's getting smaller. Okay, so that is what it is. But so if you don't shift on that and say, I sell genuine, that's the only thing I do. The only thing today, before even cable, every parts of automobile we sell genuine. The only parts of automobile that we still hold genuine brand are the things that are inside engine. Anything that is outside of the engine, any model, go. Nigeria are not particular. But because they consider the engine like your heart, so they want to be sure that what they are putting in the engine, so that is the heart is good, then whatever you put in the body for them is a material today. So if you only genuine engine parts that people still spend money to buy, but every other thing. And there are people who, even in the engine parts, don't care, because what they just want to live for the next 6 months. They are not planning for 1 year. All this thing will last you for 10 years. are not, it's people who are merely existing. Doesn't, you would have to let me live for 1 year before I talk about 10 years.
Wow. Wow. Okay, God's will says for someone that accomplished the great feat of financial success you did, sir, if you were to start at this current time with the current economics of things, will you stay in Nigeria or seek knowledge, exposure, opportunities abroad? Will you japa? Essentially, that's what he's saying, Dr. Cosmos.
I will explain to this person, and I hope he will believe and believe me. The first trip I made to United States of America was in 1979. I should be like about 20 years or 21 years. Where's Caleb? Caleb,
Okay,
you get me?
we can hear you.
It's going bad. I want to put a battery on the phone. Just give me 1 minute because it will go off. I want to.
No
Don't worry.
problem. Okay, guys, are you getting value today? Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you're getting value, I want you to type, I am getting value. Okay, if you're getting value from this class and you're really excited about what we're treating, you're learning, I can see my wife is here. I can see the captain of the Super Falcon, Rashida Tajibade. She's always joining. She's a regular here. Rashida, how are you today? Thank you for joining. All
Yeah,
of you
okay,
who are
Stephen, I'm
joining.
back. I just have to power this
Okay.
because it was almost drained and I didn't want to suddenly cut off. So I got to America, finished the things I wanted to do, and I wanted to come back to Nigeria. Everybody felt I'm making a wrong decision. By 1970, 1979, 1980, people already said this country is useless. So it's about mindset. And I tell young people, don't ever say that this country is useless because you are taken to captivity by the words of your mouth and you are saved by the words of your mouth. I want to believe that it could be better, but don't say useless because useless thing can never produce anything good for you. But could it be better? Yes. I decided to come to Nigeria against every wise counsel that people gave me. You didn't go to school, you can get scholarship here. And true to the fact, I left America, I got Social Security, I got a driver's license. Social Security then doesn't say valid for work or not valid for work. So I am completely integrated in the system. But I decided to return back to Nigeria. Why? Because I believe in this country. It's the things you believe in that will provide to you. To be a true Nigerian, you have to be identified. You share from her shame and her glory. Whatever she is what you are. I return back here, contrary to every advice, because I believe there is a place for me in this economy and I will find my feet in it. Today, I look back, every damn person that advised me and encouraged me not to come back, if there's only one thing they are better than me, it's a bottle of milk and orange juice in their refrigerator and 24-hour power. And sometime, some years ago, my wife and I also got off National Grid for 7 years and we powered our house without NEPA. If you have the money, you can buy anything and you can survive on your own, because we don't want people to give me light when we don't expect light, and when I need it, it's not available. I went out of it and I have the capacity. I powered my home and all of that. It's not the best way of life, but I'm telling you that when you can build such capacity, you can survive. So people have been running away. When you have that mental attitude, you cannot see anything where opportunity is. Stephen, I believe there's great opportunity in outside of this country, whether it's in America. But those places have construction has already finished. It's maintenance that they are doing. This is where we are still doing construction. scale up here, but there is also a limit you can be, because you cannot grow above the economy where you are. And that's why today I've also not do business only in this country. We are located in different part of Africa, and including some part of Asia country today. And we are doing business, so we're able to make economy. But our foundation still start here. You are better off if you can survive here. There are many places in the world you cannot survive. The correct thing is to have the right tough mental attitude, because tough time doesn't last. It's tough people that last.
Tough people do. Absolutely. Come on, guys. Can we celebrate Dr. Cosmos? By the way, who is happy like I am that we're turning this to a book? Right? Who is happy? Right? That we're turning this to a book. If you're happy about this, let me know. Come on, indicate if you're happy that we're turning this to a book so that millions of people all over the world will be able to have access to it. I'm glad to inform you my own version of this conversation will be happening tomorrow on this same IG, and it will be by 7 p.m. Okay, so again, I'm co-authoring it with Dr. Cosmos. So you have his chapter, you have my chapter, his chapter, my chapter. But this session is his chapter. So I'm hoping he will give me one more day next week, and then one more day upper week. That's all I need, Dr. Cosmos. And then the book is ready. I just need one day next week for this IG live, and then one day upper week, this IG live. I'll ask you a few more questions, and we have all that we need to get the book ready.
I
So
hope
at
it works,
least by
Stephen, because I'm leaving next tomorrow to Pakistan, and I'll be speaking there to some group of young people till 22nd, 23rd. I'm in Dubai. I have a meeting in Dubai also, till 27th to 29th actually, but I will leave on the 28th. So let's still see if I can steal time there. But from tomorrow, I'm not available in this country. After tomorrow, I'm not available in this country until the 29th. So we just see what is humanly possible.
We can do it from the country you are in. It's just virtual, just like this.
Okay.
I will try and reach out to you. We'll look at what time we can do it. It's
No
just going to
problem.
be virtual. We're targeting if we can launch it end of January. Once we can do 2 sessions, end of January, the book will be ready. I know it will inspire a lot of people, and everybody has been asking for more book from Dr. Cosmos.
No
Somebody is asking. He says, "How did you position to attract the real target audience for your business?"
Well, it's just to know what you are selling. If you are selling Tom and you are advertising it in a CNN, you are going to be not getting the right target audience. So if you are selling Tom, you need to look for school where students are. So you look at the product you are selling and see which market it is. So it's about if you know your market, you know your market audience, who you are going to be talking to. So if you cannot be selling a bag of rice in Nigeria and advertising it in CNN, you are going to have limited customers, because rice is not important food for the people that watch CNN. So you need to look at what product are you selling, where is your market audience, so that you can be able to bring it on their doorstep to be able to get them. So it's a segment of your market that will help you know where your focus is, so that you can be hitting the right target. There are people who throw money away unnecessary because they are selling a product that they are not, bringing the compartment that cement with it. So you need to have an advertising agent who are professionals in that. If you can't see through to it, to be able to tell you the people you should be focusing in the thing.
Good answer. How do you stay profitable without making your product too pricey in an oversaturated industry? I'm into fashion industry. Sylvia TPD.
Very simple. Stay lean at the top in your organization. You need to be um, as nimble as possible. Many people use overhead at the top to weigh the company down. Don't overload it so that it can carry it. In other words, see how you can maximize with the quality of the people you have to scale up without look, it's important that in scaling up a certain level, you need to get some certain level of class of people, but you can get only one or two of them who can, by their quality of leadership, castigate what they already have, because a real leader is one who is able to build a second leader. Don't just go hire too many top leaders up there that weigh your organization up to be able to really, manage resources in a sustainable manner.
Okay. Somebody was saying, was KPMG the first staff from the professional space who helped cause Charis? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
I got what he's trying to say. Were they the first people, like the first consultant we hired in our? No, not at all. Because at inception, we couldn't pay them. We get people to come to talk to us. It's a scaling up. But the point we are at that point, you cannot be using some borrowed dust to shoot certain animal. Otherwise, the animal can take that gun and kill you with it. So when you decide to level up at a certain level, you need to get people who have been on that road, who had experience to tell you the level of the depth of that jungle or where you are going. So you know you are pursuing the right kind of animal. So they were not the first organization that we hired, to help us crystallize where we are going.
Okay, this is the last question, and then we'll allow you go rest, so that we can get one day next week to continue this book. This person says, is it when the business owner is overwhelmed with job? So I think his question is, how do you work on not being overwhelmed with the organization, and how, at what point do you know that, okay, maybe I need to bring in a professional like the one KPMG recommend to help?
Yeah. Let me say that this is very critical for your quality of being an entrepreneur. A good mason is not the man that laid the wall. It's a man that takes a corner in a successful way. Like when he laid the corner, take a corner, the wall remains straight. There's no school that teach you that. You need to work with your intuition, what we call inspiration. At a time, building Cosalis, there was a time I was the managing and damaging director. I had the A to Z of the cost of the company, the forward and backward agent. I was the counter general, everything. Because I cannot afford to pay anybody. And you have to start like that. But the most important thing is that if you are clear, you are going in a journey, you need to know when you build the cash to begin to learn to delegate. Delegation is a key to scaling up. You can't scale up when you have to micromanage and do everything. Part of Nigerian or average Igbo man greatest weakness is ability to trust. You must take chance on people. You must be willing to take risk on people. You must allow people. One of my greatest skill as an entrepreneur is ability to trust people, ability to delegate. Delegation is key, because if you as a CEO, get involved in every nitty-gritty of the company. It will deprive you at looking at the bigger goal, strategic decisions that will take the company to where he wants to be. You cannot be involved in day-to-day selling. But when you are starting, you need to be involved in today selling. I used to write invoice, sell goods, supply goods to customer. Sometimes they give me 200 naira or 500 naira as a tip because the person don't even know I was the owner of the business based on the good service I gave. You need to do that so that but you can't continue to do that because that is making you money and settle for it. You need to know when you let go. The greatest act of leadership is not what happened while you are alive. It's what happened after your demise. If everything you live for died when you died, then you have not lived effectively. And to live effectively, you must learn to transfer your skill and power to people that you are leading. Jesus is the greatest leader, where he told Peter, run my company. I hand it over to you. I go. And Peter was the man that denied him, but he placed trust on him that when he get to a point that Peter was to be dead, he said, don't crucify me like my master. They all sealed their testimony with the blood. The greatest weakness for many born entrepreneurs is to delegate their financial management. Yes, people told me I'm stupid. I agree. But we will not have become an institution the way we are if I don't take that risk. In the last 20 years of Cosmas, I do not sign check in the company. There are not many of my contemporaries that are willing to do that, to allow somebody manage your purse. Sometimes people ask me how much I want or have. I don't know. I have to call somebody that is in charge to know. It's not a priority to me. You can say I'm too reckless. Well, that's why I am big, because you have to trust people. You must delegate. It doesn't mean don't verify. You trust and verify, but give people your trust and let people know. When you hire people and begin to tell your staff in their presence, you know, I don't trust you. Nobody owes you obligation when you talk to him like that, because why does he want to be loyal to you when you've already told him you don't have confidence in him? You can as well fire him than to demoralize the person. You plant confidence and let people know you trust them. Jesus even took a thief and make him the treasurer of his church.
Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Come on. This is huge. Jesus. Jesus took a thief and make him treasure. That one is deep.
He stole so much money in the church until he decided to sell the master. He didn't, the one he was people was not enough until he put the master in the market. Yeah. See, that one, we can discuss it privately, but you must learn to trust people. Delegation is a key. Delegation is a key. I learned those biblical principles from him. You know, that's why Fortune 500 company are still studying the servant leadership of Jesus Christ. How he built a company, 2,000 years he left. The business is growing, getting more clients, even in his absence. That's the quality of leadership. You know, so people keep on talking about living 70 years or 100. This man lived 33 years very effectively and finished and gone. But you can never, if this world is going to be 2 billion years, we talk about him because of his quality of leadership. It took ordinary people, make great people out of them, you know, take away their spaghetti strength and put steel into those people, you know, by making them to be a believer of them. Ordinary people who do not know their ABCD like myself, but know how to get a god out of a fish. It transformed them completely. Looking for people that are interested in transformation leadership, not just coming to church and singing good scholars. And they become a firebrand. So my strength is making people believe in themselves. And that's how I led the Nigerian team in table tennis to beat England in their own country, in Manchester. We went to Melbourne. I got my team in team event to beat Australia in the final in Melbourne. So, and I told them, you are ordinary woman, these people don't feel inferior to them. There's no sawdust in your brain because your skin is black. And they went there and played the game of their life. So it's about believing in yourself. Nobody will believe in you unless you believe in yourself. Every one of us are the first believer of ourselves. Every other person needs to be convinced, whether it's your wife or your mother or your child. And that's why when my mother doubted me, I dropped her on the road and I went away because I was pregnant with my vision and she couldn't make me commit abortion with it.
Wow, guys. Come on, celebrate Dr. Cosmos. I wish you can continue, but, if I overstretch, it won't give me one day next week, and I want one day next week. So, so let me allow him go and rest, and then we'll pick it up next week. Come on, everybody, I want to just say thank you, Dr. Cosmos. Come on, everybody, type it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Cosmos. Thank you, Dr. Cosmos. You are grateful on behalf of all participants. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been awesome. Have a wonderful night rest, and please make sure you rest well. God bless you, sir, and safety tomorrow.
It's my pleasure. Take care. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay, guys. Good night, all of you all over the world. Love you all. See you tomorrow. The time is 7. The time is 7 p.m. I will be sharing my own version of this book, which is Scaling Business with Integrity. So don't miss it tomorrow, 7 p.m. With me. If you haven't been following me, you better follow me right now at Stephen Akintayo. So 7 p.m. tomorrow, I will be sharing my own version of this new book that we're writing, and I'm super excited about co-authoring this book with Dr. Cosmos. And by the grace of God, end of January, we're going to be launching this book. And we're going to be inviting people all over the world. We'll be streaming it live and giving people opportunity all over the world. Love you all.